Hello students, welcome to fourth lecture of biomolecules. So in previous lecture we discussed about our first monosaccharide glucose, and now let's start with fructose. Fructose is an important ketohexose. So as the name suggests, it contains ketone group and 6 carbons. It's obtained along with the glucose by the hydrolysis of disaccharide sucrose. It is a natural monosaccharide found in fruit, honey, vegetables, etc. In its pure form, it is used as a sweetener and it is also an important ketohexose. Structure of fructose. Now we are not going to discuss it step by step just like glucose. So basic information is provided as follow. Fructose has a molecular formula just like glucose, C6H12O6, and on the basis of the reaction it was found that it contains ketonic group at the second carbon and has 6 carbons present in straight chain just like glucose. It belongs to D series, capital D, that means last asymmetric carbon will have OH group on right hand side, and a levorotatory compound, that means optically it will rotate light on left hand side direction. It is appropriately written as D minus fructose. Its open chain structure is as shown here. So this is open chain structure of the fructose. As you can see, we have total 6 carbons in a chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and second carbon contains our main reactive group, ketonic group, and second asymmetric carbon, second last carbon, which is asymmetric, contains OH group on right hand side. That's why it is capital D, and optically it rotates light on left hand side direction, so minus. That means nature of fructose is opposite to glucose as per optical activity. It also exists in two cyclic form just like glucose, and we can obtain it by the addition of OH group present on fifth group with CO group or second carbon. The ring thus formed is 5-membered ring which contains 4 carbon and 1 oxygen. And this type of structure which contains 5 member in a ring with 4 carbon and 1 oxygen is known as furan. That's why we can refer this structure as furanose, as this structure suggests. So as you can see in this structure, we have 5-membered rings in both of the fructose structures with 4 carbons and 1 oxygen, and remaining 2 carbons are present as a substitution on that ring. And just like glucose, it shows two different alpha and beta forms because of slight difference in them. So where is that difference? Let's try to find. So as we can see on this second carbon, we have two different groups, CH2OH and OH. So they will flip their positions and whole remaining structure will be same in both of them. That means only difference is these two groups are interchanged, and it gives us two different alpha and beta forms of fructose. So this CH2OH and this second CH2OH, these two are substitution on 5-member ring on carbon number 2 and 5. And we can rewrite these structures as follow to understand it better. So as per Howard structure, these two are structures of fructose. And as you can see on second number carbon, in first structure we have OH group at the bottom, and second structure shows OH group on the top side. That's why one is alpha and second one is beta form. Now let's talk about some important disaccharides. So as the name suggests, and as we know, disaccharides on hydrolysis with dilute acid or enzyme yields two monosaccharide, and these monosaccharides can be same or different depending on the type of disaccharide. Now in laboratories generally we use dilute acid, and inside the body enzymes will be used for same type of reaction, and you will learn about it in this unit as well and other units, some other units. So enzymes are one type of biological catalyst which are present in living organism, and they will increase the rate of reaction which are extremely slow without them. So whenever two different monosaccharides are joined together, they will lose one water molecule in normal situation, and they will be connected with each other via oxide linkage. And this oxide linkage in these type of molecules are known as glycosidic linkage. That means such link which is present between two monosaccharide units and it is oxygen, then oxygen is known as glycosidic linkage. In disaccharides, the reducing group of monosaccharides, that is aldehyde or ketonic group, are bonded. In disaccharides, if reducing group of monosaccharides, that is aldehydic or ketonic group, are bonded, then these are non-reducing sugars. Example, sucrose. On the other hand, sugar in which these functional groups are free are called reducing sugars, as for example maltose and lactose. We will discuss it with example. So keep in mind, if we have free aldehydic or ketonic group, then it will be reducing sugar, and if they are used in some type of bond formation or attachment, then it will be non-reducing sugar. So let's start with some reactions of sucrose. First of all, one simple reaction of hydrolysis of sucrose is mentioned. So when C12H10 reacts with water molecule in presence of acids, it gives glucose and fructose. So notice here we have glucose with plus sign and fructose with minus sign. That means one of them is dextrorotatory and one of them is levorotatory. So one product opposes the optical activity of other product. So these two monosaccharides are held together by glycosidic linkage between C1 of alpha D glucose and C2 of beta D fructose. Now we know that reacting group of glucose is present on first carbon, that means aldehyde group, and reactive group of second molecule fructose is present on second carbon, which is ketonic group. Now as you can see here, it is mentioned C1 of first molecule glucose and C2 of second molecule fructose are joined. So they are linked together, that's why they are not free. So that is the reason why sucrose is non-reducing sugar. There it contains two different monosaccharides, two different groups, aldehyde and ketone, but both of them are already used in bond formation. That's why none of them is free, and that's why it is non-reducing sugar. So sucrose structure is mentioned here. So as we can see here, we have glucose and fructose unit mentioned separately, and they are attached via one single oxygen. So what happened when we do hydrolysis reaction in presence of H2O? So simply H2O will split in two parts, H plus and OH minus, and H plus will combine with oxygen present here, and OH minus will combine with one of the sides of either glucose side or fructose side. Let us say oxygen breaks its bond from here. Okay, so that means it is still attached with fructose, but bond is broken from glucose side. So OH group will be attached with glucose like this. So now we have complete glucose molecule, and this hydrogen will be attached with this OH group. Okay, so let us replace this OH group here. So here we have a complete molecule of fructose. So that's how you will get OH groups in both of them and one glucose and one fructose molecule from the hydrolysis of sucrose. And same reaction can be assumed in reverse process when these two molecules approaches together to form disaccharide. One of them will lose complete OH group, second one will lose hydrogen, that means H2O will be removed, and then both of them will be attached with this glycosidic linkage. Sucrose is dextrorotatory, but after the hydrolysis gives dextrorotatory glucose and levorotatory fructose. Since the lever rotation of fructose is minus 92.4 degrees is more than the dextro rotation of glucose, which is plus 52.5. That's why overall product will show effect of lever rotation, because lever rotation of fructose is more than glucose, and that's why the product mixture is levorotatory. Thus the hydrolysis of sucrose bring about a change in the sign of rotation. That means if you check the rotation or optical activity of the sucrose solution, then you will find it is dextrorotatory. But when we complete the reaction, then mixture will show levorotation because of mixture of glucose and fructose in equal amount, but effect of fructose is more dominant. That's why you will notice solution will be levorotatory. So this flips the sign before and after reaction, and this is called inversion. And because of this type of property, sugars are called invert sugar. So simple reason, they flip the sign before and after reaction, that's why it is called invert sugar. Another disaccharide maltose is composed of two alpha D glucose unit in which C1 of the first glucose and C4 of the second glucose units are joined together, and that's why the aldehyde group of second glucose unit is yet available. Okay, so that means it is reducing sugar because its group, reactive group, aldehydic group is still available. It is not used just like previous example. So that's why we will refer this sugar as reducing sugar, and it shows reducing properties. So here simple structure of maltose is mentioned. Here we have two different glucose molecules, and as we can see, the first reactive group of C1 present here, it is already used in this glycosidic linkage, but second molecule still contains its first free state of reactive group or aldehydic carbon. It is not used in bond formation, that's why it can be reducing sugar. So fourth carbon of second molecule, first carbon of first molecule, they are used in glycosidic linkage, and you have maltose molecule. And last disaccharide in our list is lactose. It is commonly known as milk sugar because it is found from the milk. It is composed of beta D galactose and beta D glucose. The linkage is between C1 of the galactose and C4 of the glucose. So note here, C1 which contains reactive group is already used for the galactose, but C4 of glucose is attached. That means it contains free C1 first carbon. That's why it will be reducing sugar. Free aldehyde group may be produced at C1 of the glucose unit, and hence it is reducing sugar. And here we have side by side comparison of galactose and glucose molecules. So only difference visible here is on fourth carbon. So just flip the position of the groups on the fourth carbon and you will get galactose from the glucose or glucose from the galactose. Remaining structure will be same for both of them. So this slight difference in the orientation, spatial orientation of the groups will give us a different type of monosaccharide units. So here lactose molecule is mentioned. So as we can see, the first reactive group present in galactose is already used, but second molecule uses its fourth carbon. That's why our first anomeric carbon is free or still available. That's why it is reducing sugar. And you can see the difference in their structure, and again only difference visible is at fourth carbon. So position of OH group is above in the galactose molecule, and position of the OH group will be below in glucose molecule. So this is the only difference between them. Otherwise, suppose these are two separate molecules. Let us remove or ignore this glycosidic linkage for a while. So complete structure is same. If you observe, except fourth carbon in both structure, 1 to 6 carbons are placed at the same positions in both of the molecule. Only difference is the position of groups on fourth carbon, which gives us whole two different type of monosaccharides, galactose and glucose. So these two molecules will be joined together with the glycosidic linkage, and one more difference is, if you observe the structure of sucrose or the maltose, you can see attachment is on the same side, that means below the plane. That means in maltose as well as in glucose or sucrose, attachment is between two different groups are present on same side of the molecule, that means below the plane. But in case of lactose, you can see one of the group is present on the above the plane side and second group is present below the plane side. So these two molecules will be actually stepwise, they will be present at stepwise position. One molecule or one part of the molecule is comparatively higher than the other part, just like steps. That means, suppose if you observe from the side, then this will be the position of glucose molecule, then with the help of oxygen second molecule is attached. So here we have glycosidic linkage of our oxygen. So this type of stepwise structure will be obtained.